Right? How do you find the right college for your kid is pretty daunting. And before we met you, Tom, we were relying on some advice from some of the counselors and my son's teachers at school, looking around the area regionally to see what schools would fit what his interests are. We're really actually in the dark. It was very apparent from the first conversation and every bit of the process we went through that you were there to help, especially in the college selection process. It was trying to really find the right fit. Um, and that approach of being really there to help, not to push for Harvard, not to push for an Ivy League because that would make your business better, but you were really there to help. That approach, combined with your depth and knowledge of all the school systems around the country, just made it very comfortable, and it made the decisions that Pablo had to make a lot more obvious. And the tool that I most liked that you use, Tom, is the University of You. And it's the survey you sent to both Pablo and I that really takes the interest and the academic interests and the social interests of the child or of Pablo at heart, and it helps you see for yourself what those interests are, not what you think they are. It makes you feel like you can trust the decisions that your child is making because it's well informed, because it's about them. So when you start really, then after that process, when you start thinking of visiting schools, then you're going to the schools for a specific reason. You're looking at the right size school fit. You're looking at the one that fits his academic and learning styles. Not all of them are the same. And Tom, you and Hillary proved that you will address every learning style that comes across your way. And so that gives the confidence, not just for me as a parent, it becomes really secondary. And that's what you want, is whatever confidence and trust the parent has needs to be transferred so that Pablo and your child trusts in what they're deciding, because it's really their decision. When we got to that campus, the campus visit kind of sealed it in. But it wouldn't have sealed it in unless you had all the background of all the work he did with you, Tom, to find out what he wanted, where the programs for sports management that he wanted to focus in were. And the fact that he himself turned away from what he thought initially was, I want to go to a big university with a big sports team with a lot of options for social engagement. And he himself realized that a smaller liberal arts school where he wouldn't fall through the cracks and who would get all the attention he needed was better for him. So that was kind of a conclusion he came on its own, the right fit. And I'm so glad that Tom brought this opportunity up. We would never have found Rockfirst without your advice, Tom. We would never have thought of a different school to the big UW system or Minnesota system. It just wouldn't have crossed our minds. So starting soon is good. You know, as we came out of, Pablo was my oldest child that went through the on-campus planning college search process. And I have a younger child, and you know, she can't wait to meet you, Tom. She can't wait to, after she saw how Pablo reacted to your method of searching for colleges, exposing him to different colleges, helping him search and what to search for in the internet, Isabel wants to go through that. And so I would recommend it highly to anybody, whether you think you're a college expert or even for college professors who have kids. It's very different to have Tom work with your kid and help your child decide rather than you trying to force your opinions on your child. It takes a lot of the pressure off, and it's well worth any of the money you invest in on-campus planning. Again, you invest from the time they're born till the time they go to college and sometimes beyond in making sure they have the funds for their college. A little bit of extra investment in helping them sort of like the right college just made all the sense to us.